A goalie, two really talented offenses on a beautiful day in Durham. We are underway. Duke in the home white, and Andrew Greenspan and the Who's in orange will start with possession. Greenspan getting the better of Gerard. And we get our first look at this Virginia offense. What has been working for them, Q, offensively during this three-game win streak?
The Millen brothers really stirred the drink. Brendan Millen, 7 in orange. McCabe Millen, 9 in orange. They both started attack today. They have 60 of the team's 90 assists. So 2/3 of the assists start with the Millen brother.
Ryan Colsey, 13 in orange, dangerous as well. Here's McCabe Millen going to work. Trying to shake free. Good ball movement. And Virginia opens the scoring. It's the captain, Joey Terenzi, who draws first blood.
Double team drawn by McCabe Millen. Terenzi just follows him, and a stick check won't suffice. Watch him just run through sticks. And Terenzi buries the rock low. The senior out of Manhasset, 2 goals against Notre Dame. He's a real party starter. He's an energetic guy who's super savvy on offense, Jay, but like a juice goal type guy that the bench just loved.
So if you're a Virginia team trying to do something this program has not done in 22 years, more than 8,000 days, that is beat Duke in the regular season. They are 0-20. That's certainly the start you would want on the road. Greenspan got the clamp on Gerard, who battles on for this face-off.
Greenspan's been on fire lately, Jay. 61% on the season.
Well, how many times when you see a team in great form, do you look down and you've got a great guy at the face-off X and a great goalkeeper?
Yeah, that's really turned around their season after losses to Richmond, Johns Hopkins, Towson, and Maryland. Jake Merrick, their goaltender, his numbers have improved, and they've relied on both Andrew Greenspan and Griff Meyer facing off.
And Lars Tiffany shared with us, it was after that painful overtime loss to Maryland in the locker room, where he said, this is the day you turn the season around. After a hard loss, and they have responded, and they have been shot out of a cannon here in Durham. Truett Sunderland, the senior, sneaky on the crease, makes it 2-0.
Watch the scissors cut inside. It's an X. You see the double cut. Balsamo goes off to the left. Sunderland cuts off to the right pipe off the exchange behind the net. And you talk about trust. A spot feed to Sunderland. He's not poorly covered, but you lose leverage inside. The freshman long pole, Will Petticano, caught with bad leverage, and Sunderland just one-touches it. The Who's off to a terrific start.
An early timeout by John Danowski, with Virginia throwing the first punch. We'll step aside. Who's up 2-0 early?
I don't think they'll take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted in 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past, baby.
You're the one who owns 13 pairs of parachute pants?
Well, fashion is cyclical. They'll be back. Right? Hopefully.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
Do you want your vehicle to look showroom new, inside and out? Cerakote, the industry leader in ceramic coatings, makes it easy with our complete car care system. Start every wash with Cerakote's high foam vehicle shampoo. Then clean the interior, coat your tires, paint, plastics, and even restore cloudy headlights and faded trim back to like new. The final result? Unmatched performance and long-lasting protection, guaranteed. With over 80,000 five-star reviews and more #1 bestsellers than any other brand, you can trust Cerakote. Buy now.
Virginia up 2-0 here in Durham. In many ways, Quint, the Cavaliers go as the Millens go, and during this win streak, they've been sharing the ball so well.
60 of 97 of the team's assists come from Brendan Millen, the freshman, or McCabe, the junior, a pair of brothers from the McDonough School in Baltimore. Parents Mark a legend in the men's game, both Hall of Famers, and mom, Erin. And the players are very different, Jay. Brendan plays like mom, Erin. McCabe plays like dad, Mark.
And how so?
Mark was a get-to-the-goal type player. Erin was more of a share the ball, more of a passer, more of a catalyst for others.
Well, the combination has done wonders for this Virginia offense. This is Duke's first possession of the game. Good save by Jake Merrick on the first shot that he sees. The Blue Devils touch the ball for the first time, already trailing 2-0. This is Kyle Colsey, 2 in white with the swim dodge. Tried to shuffle it back to Sloat, who couldn't handle it, and now Virginia's off and running in transition. Short stick defensive midfielder Hudson Hossman. He's been terrific, the star sophomore.
Late sub from Duke.
Virginia tried to push that early offense, couldn't connect. That's an over and back, so it will be Duke possession.
Hausman, 15 in orange, and Robbie Hopper, 8 in orange, their long pole. Those guys stay on and play offense, whether it's off a face-off or off a defense to offensive run. It is critical that Duke gets back in the hole.
Offensively for Duke, so balanced, but number 19, Ben Johnson, the junior, have to keep an eye on him. What do you like most about this Duke-O?
Well, I like Johnston on the right wing, and I like this guy, 15 in white, Max Sloat. Surprised that Virginia's covering him with a short stick. They're going to have to slide quickly, double team him. But they lack a behind-the-goal presence.
Sloat right on cue, takes advantage of the shorty. After 4 goals in the Dome a week ago, Sloat opens the scoring for the Blue Devils.
This is a little bit of defensive malpractice, in my estimation. When a guy like Max Sloat sees the short stick, he's going to feast all day. He's known for his left-handed sweeping abilities. He sets this up with a right-handed push to the goal, and then he rolls back left-handed. He had 4 goals against Syracuse. This kid's on fire, a senior from California.
Yeah, you cannot put a shorty on Sloat the way he's playing.
When we talked to Lars Tiffany before the game, he said, yeah, we're going to cover it short with a shorty. I almost wanted to say, what are you, crazy, coach? And so they're going to start that way and look to double him quickly, but that was not effective.
Good face-off win by Cal Girard as Duke is starting to find their footing in this matchup. A Blue Devils team that went to the Dome a week ago and in a losing effort made a great statement, a very young team that has grown up over the course of this season.
How do you bounce back? How do you bounce back from wins? How do you handle them? How do you deal with losses? I think everyone in the country this time of year is dealing with stuff like that.
Here's Johnston. Hasn't had many touches in this opening quarter, but a threat to score.
Virginia putting a short stick defensive midi on Michael Ortlieb, 11, the attackman behind the net.
And Duke with 2 former Virginia players on the field right now, 20 Thomas Menke and 2 Kyles Colsey. Spent the year in Charlottesville last year. Colsey didn't touch the field, was rehabbing an ACL injury, and then interestingly transferred away from his brother, Ryan Colsey, in this Virginia program. Now playing against the Cavaliers today. Well defended. Colsey trying to keep the possession alive for Duke. Shot clock ticks down to 7. Duke picks it up. They don't have much time. And this will be a shot clock violation.
Nice
Ball goes to
defense.
Virginia.
Nice defense from Virginia. They're dangerous off these quick restarts. That was the second midfield group for Duke. Papendick, Thomas Menke, a Virginia transfer. Little Thomas Delgado on the side.
How much confidence do you think the Virginia defense takes from that Notre Dame game, holding the Irish to only 9, knocking off the #1 team in the nation?
You know, ever since the second half of the Utah game, Jay, they've been playing pretty good defense. They held Dartmouth to 7 and Notre Dame to 9. They're doing a better job on ball, but their slide packages, their schematics seem much tighter. They're playing as a unit.
Here's McCabe Millen on a give and go. Finds Terenzi. Shoots lefty, well saved. Patrick Jamison makes his first stop of the afternoon. Ooh, big collision Going through it, though. Here's Colsey. Lost his footing. Kyle Colsey went into the double team.
Players struggling with slippage,
And Colsey stays down.
Slow to get back to his feet.
Aiden McGuire wins it back for Duke, something he's so good at doing. One of the best short stick defensive midfielders in the country.
We were down on the field pregame. They watered this service overnight.
It was wet.
It was wet. Expecting intense sunlight today, but we have seen 2 players slip.
And Colsey limps off now for Duke, something we will monitor.
Liam Kirsch, check that. Brady Scialetti comes in on attack, 51, the lefty.
Sloat, he's got the lone goal for the Blue Devils. Here's Scialetti. Very talented freshman, 15 goals in his first campaign. Curls around the cage. Great save. Merrick went low to deny Sloat.
Merrick, the grad transfer from Air Force. He's not the biggest cat in the world, Jay, and you'll see him play on a higher arc than most goalies. So he comes out like a hockey goalie, but he's been good at his feet this year. He's been really quick. Duke showing some 10-man ride.
You haven't seen that in a couple of games. They abandoned it after going down 4-0 against Denver, and then we didn't see it in that high-scoring shootout against Syracuse a week ago. But it was something that worked for them in the first 7 games of this season. They're the 3rd best team in the country in opponent clear percentage. Just 73%. So it's interesting that Danowski's gone back to it here against Virginia, and it paid off. Great interception. Read it the whole way. Luke Hublitz, the sophomore from Riverside, Connecticut, got his stick in the way. That's the 3rd turnover by Duke in this opening quarter, and we're only midway through it.
Hublitz is their 2nd pole. He'll share ships with Robbie Hopper.
And once again, the Duke ride causes the turnover. Relentless ride by the Blue Devils. Can they turn it into points? Yes! A flamethrower by Ben Johnston blows it right by Merrick to tie it at 2.
Nothing good happens when you clear the ball up the box, the substitution box side of the field. You're double teamed. There's just a massive confusion and bodies. Great job by Pedicano, the freshman, to pick this up. He's got his eyes up. Johnston doesn't have a numbers advantage, but let me tell you, man, that kid's got a howitzer. He has got a right-handed shot that is just vicious, and he beats Merrick from about 12 yards.
31st goal of the season for Ben Johnston. You played goalie, Quint. Poor Jake Merrick's just scrambling to get back in cage. He looks up, and that's flying at him.
And dead center as well, where Johnston can really work the goalie. Stick side, offside, high or low. As a shooter, your eyes are going to take you to the open net. And when you get dead center, that is top of the key there, the goal looks awful big.
Virginia just 2 for 5 in the clearing game. And the last one led to a Duke goal.
Yeah, Lars Tiffany taking notes on his little index cards on the sidelines. He wondered whether Duke was going to turn up the heat and try to aggressively ride Virginia. And teams will do that, Jay. Kind of like in basketball, they press more at home than they do on the road.
Well, Lars Tiffany's calling card is to make a team uncomfortable with that pressure, and Duke using that against Virginia to change momentum in this first quarter and tie it at 2.
2-man games for McCabe Millen on the wing, 9 in orange.
Balsamo took a shove, the former Blue Devil. McGuire not letting him penetrate.
Balsamo's a lefty, 0-0.
Bouncer took a deflection from Ryan Colsey. Brendan Millen keeps it alive. Crossfield pass, chased down by his brother McCabe.
Eyes are up for Brendan Millen. Covered by
Shot clock down to 10.
Menendez.
Brendan Millen goes low. Jamison read it well. What a double save! Patrick Jamison to the rescue. It's a fresh 60 for Virginia. They'll reload the offense.
Jamison sharp, gone back to work, rebuilt his confidence after being yanked in the dome last week.
McCabe sends that wide. The psychology of a goalkeeper when you get pulled in the second quarter of a competitive game. He leads Division I in goals against average. He's been a good goalie throughout his career at Duke.
Vastly experienced for a junior.
And John Danowski said, well, he's our starter, no doubt about it. And we made an in-game decision for a number of reasons, but we trust him to be back at his best today against Virginia. That double save proving Danowski right early. Shot clock ticks under 20.
McGuire in the double team. Charlie Johnson. Aiden McGuire is not healthy, Jay. He's limping off the field. This would be big news. The best defensive midfielder in the country is slow to come off the field.
Finally makes his way to the Duke sideline after a Herculean effort to take that ball away from McCabe Millen. You can see McGuire's just battling right now.
I don't know if he took a shot to the midsection, but he's the best in the business at that position. And that's like a cornerback who's going to take a receiver and it completely erase him from the game. So that's a big deal if he's not healthy.
Yeah, Lars Tiffany went back all the way to Revis Island. Darrell Revis, a Hall of Fame cornerback. Here's Ben Johnston. Feeds it this time. Great save to deny Scaletti. But Jake Merrick seeing the ball really well. Can Virginia fire in transition?
Hopper's dangerous. You have to respect his offensive prowess now. 8, the freshman. He's tall and lanky. He's got an outside cannon. Very high risk, high yield player. Does not play by the normal rules, by the King's rules. He makes stuff up on the fly.
And to have so much confidence in just his freshman season in these big ACC battles in April, but he has proven he deserves it.
Little 5-on-5 now as Virginia has kept a defensive midfielder over in front of their bench.
They've got Liam Kirschus trapped on defense, and Duke takes it away in the 5-on-5. Henry Bard, the senior defender. 6 turnovers by Virginia this first quarter. They've lost that momentum from the early 2-0 lead.
They got a trailer. They got an extra here. It's a late sub from Virginia.
It was Kirschus who stayed on. He was the player trapped on defense. Feed to the doorstep. That was Matt Christmas, the long stick midfielder, and he can finish from in close, but not that time. The Poles getting some run on the offensive end today.
Now Virginia's going to slow things down. Let's see. Kevin Cassis, their offensive coordinator, signaling, slow it down. Let's get our subs. Let's get our personnel. So much of this offense runs through McCabe Millen 9 or Brendan Millen 7. And I think they're their best when Brendan is the quarterback behind the net. 7.
Well, Virginia had 2 goals in the opening minute, 41. They've had no goals since, which is now more than 11 minutes of game time. A pass that Sunderland took a while to regather, and a timeout taken by Lars Tiffany with 2 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Well, we expected a close competitive game, and that is exactly what we have gotten so far. Coming up later today in Durham at 4 Eastern, we've got some women's lacrosse right here on the ACC network. Blue Devils hosting number 3 Syracuse. Should be a great one. The Orange women have won 10 in a row.
Today is a great day across the landscape, especially here in the Research Triangle. 2 o'clock on ESPNU. North Carolina hosting Syracuse. I was staying in the hotel with the Syracuse Orange on the treadmill this morning with Pat Marsh and Gary Gates.
That's great.
Saw a bunch of the players last night when I checked in.
Well, you could not ask for better lacrosse weather here in April than we are
when
getting.
you sign up to play at Virginia or Duke, like this is the day, this is the advertisement that they say, this is why you want to come to the ACC. We're going to play on grass on beautiful days on campus in front of nice crowds. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, busy day here on Duke's campus. You got a baseball game going on, a softball game going on, doubleheader in the sport of lacrosse.
You know, what I love about this time of year, Jay, is league games, okay? Ivy League, Big Ten, ACC. We got important league games. A lot of rivalry games now this time of year. You know, classical historical matchups, and better weather, which is going to get people back on campus for tailgating, for post-game get-togethers. You see old friends, parents hanging out, young kids from in town coming to watch, high school players coming to watch games. These are magical. The month of April is a great month for the sport.
In another game, a lot of people will have their eyes on in Chicago, Notre Dame against Richmond. Richmond, the #1 team in the country. How about the Spiders, the season that they're having? Virginia knocking off Notre Dame a week ago is the reason Richmond jumped to #1. The Irish, the previous #1 team in the sport. The Millen brothers heating up over this 3-game winning streak. Definitely the catalyst for the Cavaliers right now.
McCabe is #2 in assists, nationally #2 in assists per game.
How about that out of the timeout? Don't blink, you'll miss it. Ryan Colsey buries it past Jamison and fires Virginia back in front.
Defensively, coming off a timeout, you're always aware of a set play. And this is just, Duke looks like they're caught on their heels, maybe expecting Virginia to get into some kind of offensive pattern, and they're not marked up efficiently. And Colsey from about 9 yards in that left wing, he's got good range. I tell you, Ryan Colsey's playing a superb brand of lacrosse right now. He can do a lot of things, whether it's dodging from up top, whether it's isolating from behind the net. The kid's got skills.
25-game goal streak for Ryan Colsey. Going against his brother today, Kyle. The Colsey family, one of the legendary lacrosse families in the sport. Their dad, obviously, 3-time All-American Hall of Famer at Syracuse, coach of the PLL for the Chaos last season.
Greenspan's winning the whistle for Virginia on these face-offs.
He's up 4-2 in that category. And Virginia, who started this game with all the momentum, that 2-0 start in the opening minute, 41. Duke weathered the storm, battled back, and now it's Virginia that is closing the quarter with momentum as well.
They look very relaxed. They look very comfortable. As I say that, they throw the ball out of bounds.
Well, it's funny. I was in Charlottesville for a women's lacrosse game, Virginia, North Carolina, yesterday, so stopped by the Virginia practice. I joked with Lars Tiffany. I go, is this too loose? And he goes, yeah, sometimes I have to look away on a fun Friday practice, but it's something that he's been doing since his Brown days, tries to get the guys loose before game day, and they were extra loose in their practice yesterday.
Duke's making some decisions here with the ball in terms of their shot selection that are baffling.
How about the hustle? Jake Merrick sprinted from cage to win the run out. That's incredible.
John Danowski pacing the sidelines as if to say, what are we doing?
Well, the freshman Ortlieb, I don't think he thought he had any competition for that ball. And Duke wins it back on their ride. That is the 4th failed clear by Virginia in this first quarter.
Really the only thing opening the door for Duke.
20 seconds left at the end of this first quarter. Here's Ortlieb. And now Johnston with 12 seconds to operate.
Got to go now.
Thomas Menke, the former Virginia player, finds Kyle Colsey. And now Sloat, 2 seconds to shoot, gets it off in time, met by Merrick. And Virginia controls a 3-2 lead after 1. Virginia looking to do something they haven't done in 22 years. Beat Duke in the regular season. A good start on the road, up 3-2.
I don't think they'll take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted in 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past, baby.
You're the one who owns 13 pairs of parachute pants?
Well, fashion is cyclical. They'll be back. Right? Hopefully.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
You're controlling a 3-2 lead. Their goalie, Jake Merrick, 5 saves in that first quarter.
Say he plays on that high arc, but look at his quickness, especially down low. Using his feet, controlling his rebounds, and he just continues to play extremely well. This is a guy that before that Utah game, Lars Tiffany leaned over and said, hey, if you give up 15, you're still our guy. You're our guy, and I want you to have confidence to go out there and have fun and make plays, and don't worry about making mistakes.
And since that conversation, 3 straight double-digit save performances, playing with that confidence, and that has certainly shown up in Durham. What a gift Jake Merrick has been to Lars Tiffany. Was not recruited to Virginia. He played lacrosse, obviously, at Air Force. He was the ASUN tournament MVP, but he was just looking for a grad school nursing program, decided on Virginia, had a common connection to Tiffany, so he emailed him, and Tiffany invited him to walk on, thinking he had no chance, zero, at winning the job, but impressed him in the fall and won his way to the starting job. And what makes it all the more impressive is his primary focus is still the nursing program. He is doing 12-hour nursing shifts during the lacrosse season.
Shifts that start at 3:30 in the morning and round up later in the afternoon, and then he goes to practice. He's from Florida, American Heritage School, and he's played against Duke, Jay. He played against Duke last season, I believe, made 17 saves, gave up 16 goals back in 2025 when Duke played Air Force. It's an Air Force team that made the NCAA tournament last year. Josh Yago, a transfer to Notre Dame. Jake Merrick, a transfer to Virginia. You can see why they were their league champions.
Yep, won the ASUN, and Merrick was the MVP of that tournament. And he has been a huge spark during this 3-game win streak. Lars Tiffany said no surprise. He has 3 straight double-digit save performances. He's well on his way to a 4th, already 5 saves. And Virginia starts with the ball. And this is a Who's team that did turn it over in the first quarter. 8 turnovers. They average just under 15 a game.
So Colsey's a left-hander, but I've noticed this year when he goes behind the net, he likes to approach the right side sometimes, and he'll shoot low when he turns the corner right-handed.
Working against Aiden McGuire. So now switches on to Brendan Millen.
He likes the question mark. A lot of slippage today.
And here's McCabe Millen trying to shake free. Has a step, tried to sting the corner, overshot it.
So if you're Duke, you're feeling pretty good in some of these matchups. Like, you're not getting smoked on the perimeter. And so you're gonna be slow to double team.
Shot clock down to 8 on the restart. Virginia has to work quickly. Here's Terenzi, fires it inside. What a goal! You can't place it much better than that. Truett Sunderland, the senior, makes it 4-2 Virginia.
This is what's different about this Virginia offense. Double team drawn against the short stick. They kick the ball up top. Then you get the ball reversal, and the skip pass is earned by that double team. Down low, it's it's Sunderland cashing in. I think it was Terenzi with the gorgeous assist. But it starts with the double team drawn on the wing, and then the ball popping in and out of sticks.
Yeah, with the shot clock winding down, Terenzi didn't have many options, and Sunderland just appeared right on the doorstep.
Tell you, Sunderland's elevated his game recently as well. This is a guy that he can do a little bit of everything. He's got big time IQ. In high school, he was kind of like a quarterback type player, Jay. In college, initially, he was like a Xander Dixon clone. He played inside. Now he's doing a little bit of everything. True at Sunderland.
The versatility of Sunderland, the perfect pairing for the Millen brothers and Colsey. Those 4 make up 70% of Virginia's scoring.
Yeah, both of these teams are lacking in depth of scoring from the second midfield and others.
Wide open inside. The freshman, Michael Ortlieb, makes Virginia pay on a miscommunication defensively.
Ortlieb from Johnston, you'll see the wing dodge, double team drawn. He fills the seam, cuts to the near post here again. Check that, it's Sloat, eyes up. And this is a good read by Sloat, and Ortlieb, the freshman, That shot's not about velocity, it's about placement. That's what you want to do against Virginia. I think you're best attacking them from the wings or from behind the net. You've got to make their defenders play with their heads on a swivel. Virginia's defense is generally pretty strong, Jay, when you attack them top down.
Ortlieb, who had a hat trick in the Dome against Syracuse a week ago, his first goal of this afternoon's battle. What's incredible about the ACC this season, all 5 teams so talented, all look like tournament teams, as Virginia takes a timeout after winning a faceoff. Every single time you play in the ACC, particularly in April, it is going to be a battle. We're expecting another close competitive one today.
I don't think they'll take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted in 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past, baby.
You're the one who owns 13 pairs of parachute pants?
Well, fashion is cyclical. They'll be back. Right? Hopefully.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
Do you want your vehicle to look showroom new, inside and out? Cerakote, the industry leader in ceramic coatings, makes it easy with our complete car care system. Start every wash with Cerakote's high foam vehicle shampoo. Then clean the interior, coat your tires, paint, plastics, and even restore cloudy headlights and faded trim back to like new. The final result? Unmatched performance and long-lasting protection, guaranteed. With over 80,000 five-star reviews and more #1 bestsellers than any other brand, you can trust Cerakote. Buy now.
With the first overall pick, Philadelphia Water Dogs select C.J. Kurtz.
First, behind the back, the spectacular finish from the #1 pick in the PLL draft. Who will hear their name #1 on April 14th, 7 o'clock ESPNU. Kark's big board. Hard to disagree with Joey Spallina #1, but Aiden McGuire right there at #3.
Well, it's interesting because Joey Spallina's dad is the GM of the California Redwoods, right?
Right.
So they don't pick until what, 5 or 6 or whatever. So Joey's got to be, this Joey Senior's got to be like trying to trade up for the #1 pick. Because if I had the #1 pick, if I'm the Utah Archers, I'm saying I'm taking Joey Spallina. What are you giving me for that draft choice, right?
Well, they might be trading every first round till 2030 to make sure Spallina goes to California.
That's exactly right. But I will tell you that Aiden McGuire will go in the top 3. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's the best at his position. To me, he looks like a PLL all-star, and he's still playing in college, 23 and white.
What makes him so good?
Athletic ability, toughness, dual threat, both as a cover man, he can lock you down, and then in transition, he can score a goal on the rush.
Virginia keeps the possession alive. Charlie Johnson unable to get that ground ball. Here's Ryan Colsey, right-handed. Well read by Jamison. And McGuire can start the clear for Duke. Oh, there's the toughness you're talking about. Tricks 2 players. It keeps on going. I ask you, what makes him so good? He just showed us. Oh, what a save! Jake Merrick to the rescue from point-blank range.
This is where Virginia can sting you now on the counterattack.
That looked like a sure goal to tie it at 4.
I mean, Merrick read that so well. You know, shooters, they have tendencies. Some guys will give you 1 fake and then a shot. Other guys will give you 2 fakes and a shot. If you can time up their cadence, Jay, that gives you a better chance. Ortlieb gave him the big high fake and then the low shot, and Merrick just read it. He was all over it.
Balsamo, 0-0, the Duke transfer. Now wearing Virginia colors here in Durham. Balsamo goes to goal, that whizzes wide. Sunderland has the backup. You know, both of these teams have shown flashes offensively, but you wouldn't say either one has found that offensive rhythm. Too many turnovers both ways. A lot of slippage as well. We mentioned the wet conditions. They watered this field overnight. definitely playing a factor.
Hasn't rained in 8 days, just expecting a lot of sun.
Balsano's had a couple of looks at Cage, and the run out one by Charlie Johnson. He's probably another player who's going to hear his name called to the PLL
He's actually
draft.
got another year, Jay,
Okay.
I think, because he has another year because of a red shirt his freshman year when he was on the scout team covering Brendan O'Neill.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Coach Stanowski was telling us he doesn't have many fifth-year seniors this year because the COVID years have worn off, but he's going to have 5 of them next year, Johnson being one of those.
I like Charlie Johnson. I thought he played a really gutsy game last week up in the Carry Dome against Syracuse. He just covered Joey Spallina the whole day, had some wins, had some losses along the way, but man, you talk about a kid who just wants to compete. Love his attitude, love his energy.
Ben Johnson lowers the boom.
Got a little break here if you're Duke.
They're trying to catch Virginia in the sub game.
Everything starts with Ben Johnson or Max Sloat, 19 or 15 in white.
Well, Johnson, we saw his hammer earlier.
Look at Virginia, no fouls? Oh no, there's gotta be laundry. That was
John Schroeder going into Delgado there.
That was a definition of a hook.
So the physicality has increased in the second quarter.
First penalty. Contact is legal.
Timber. Schroeder taking Delgado down and will serve the penalty. First power play for either team today.
Schroeder's a monster, great player. He too has another year. He redshirted 2023.
So extra man opportunity for Duke. Let's see if the Blue Devils can cash in.
Ooh. Sloat the lefty, they position him on the near wing. Johnston the righty, he's on the far wing. They're looking for step down shots from their 2 guns.
Yeah, 2 absolute flamethrowers for Duke. Low angle shot, easy save for Merrick.
Merrick's the difference in this game. Duke was just in a circle formation. There was no one on the inside. And the shooter felt confident, but Merrick says, not today.
Empty net, Jamison scurries back in to make the save. That was inches away from a Virginia goal. So Duke kills the penalty and avoids disaster there. Wins the ball back, and another chance to tie it at 4 here. So goalie update, Merrick with 7 saves, Jamison with 5.
Duke hasn't really established a bread and butter set in this game.
Curtis curls around, nothing there. And now Kyle Colsey. Merrick read it the whole way. 8 saves for Merrick now. But both goalies getting the better of these 2 talented offenses so far. And once again, Jamison way out of his net on the 10-man ride. Hustles back in it. Terenzi might have beaten him to goal there if he pulled the trigger, but maybe a little gun shy because Jamison denied the last attempt from long range. McCabe Millen slowing things down, 9 in orange. Charlie Johnson has had that matchup. Millen squeaked free, but couldn't beat Jamison. Long outlet here. Duke off and running. Blue Devils have numbers. Colsey scores! Kyle Colsey ties it at 4. He spent last season in Charlottesville with his brother, transferred to Duke in the offseason, and ties it at 4.
Virginia has success using the 2-man game. They get to the middle, but the big stop by Jamison, clean, an aggressive outlet to Luke Warrington, and the sophomore shorty out of Culver in Indiana picks up the assist as Colsey rips this in transition. And the first time that Duke had an answer for Jake Merrick.
Colsey showing no signs of that ACL that kept him out a year ago. He has looked great for Duke.
Yeah, I tell you, I mentioned that to Coach Stanowski last week before the Syracuse game. When you watch tape of Duke, you see no signs. I mean, what an incredible rehabilitation that Kyle Colsey had.
And interesting
to bounce back from that ACL.
Rehabs in Charlottesville and then decides to go to Duke, parting ways with his brother Ryan. And now the two brothers that had so many countless battles in the backyard of Ridgefield go toe-to-toe here in the ACC. One for Duke, one for Virginia.
Virginia wanting a crease call on Aiden McGuire.
And McGuire, he's still limping. He's still battling.
He's gutting this out. Something's up with his lower body.
And that was a very physical game at the Dome for him a week ago. I've mentioned it a few times, but with how talented these 5 ACC teams are this year, every single week is a battle. That's exactly what we are getting here in Durham. Curtius. Blue Devils looking for their first lead of the day. Ooh. Great stick check to win that ball away. And now off and running.
I picked your pocket, you picked mine. Robbie Hopper. He's going to go over your head, 8 and orange. Especially against a right-handed drive. The talented freshman. Super tall, and he's an old school checker.
Will say, very impressed. When Duke loses possession, though, they hunt that ball back. Virginia just 5 of 10 on the clear today. 50%. Let's see if the Blue Devils can cash in on the extra possession. That whizzes just wide from Sciletti. Another talented freshman on this Duke team.
Broken stick on the field. Pick up your trash. Talk to Lars Tiffany about sticks and defenders wanting to use the lightest stick possible, but when you cross-check, they tend to break too much, and you'd hate to give up a goal. Somebody's got to run off the field after they broke their stick, and the push-pull that goes on between athlete and coach in regard to equipment.
And you can see both sides, but usually the coach has the right idea. Good ball movement by Duke. Rings off the pipe, inches away from a Blue Devils lead.
I want to see more of that, Jay, and you called that. Good hustle on the far side by Virginia defense, but I like that pattern from Duke, I really did. Started with a push from behind the net. They got the ball reversal. The defense was definitely not comfortable.
The Duke relentless ride, trying to dispossess Terenzi, who does a good job to keep the ball at his stick. It gets it to McCabe Millen. Is there something Virginia is not doing in the clearing game?
It's interesting, Jay, because Marek, he's made all those saves. Many of them have been rebound saves. But too often they've been clearing up this substitution box side and not using the far side and running themselves into traffic.
Careless turnover there. Brendan Millen just couldn't connect behind the crease. That is 10 turnovers for Virginia. Very costly for a Cavaliers team that's playing well in this first quarter, but getting killed on the turnovers, both in the clear game and in the half-field set.
I think the other thing with Virginia's clearing is that you want to get the ball to your midfielders, your short stick defensive midfielders, and have them just leg the ball over themselves. There's a lot of security in that, and they haven't been able to do that.
Here's Max Sloat. Senior been quiet since he opened the scoring for the Blue Devils. And now Ben Johnston. Kyle Colsey. Well defended by Virginia. 20 seconds left to the shot clock. And another turnover, Aiden Murnane, the transfer from Colgate. He's had 2 caused turnovers in this first half. Moment in transition. Who's have numbers? And they score! Ryan Colsey perfectly placed, fires Virginia back in front.
When we spoke to John Danowski this week, he said offensive field balance is critical off of turnovers, and this is a case where Duke doesn't get back in to defend. Virginia's got the numbers on the left side of your screen, a simple little 2-on-1. Pole carries in, flashes like I'm gonna be a threat, and then that little kick out. Ryan Colsey with the wing shot.
Kyle Colsey had the last goal for Duke. Now older brother Ryan answers to nose Virginia back in front 5-4. You're listening to an interview Ryan gave this week with Dan Arestia. He said, I don't remember a day where I didn't have a lacrosse stick in my hand. Lacrosse just was the family profession since he was in diapers, going to dad's camps in the summer. And now the two brothers from Ridgefield meeting in the ACC. Both have been spectacular in this first half. And when your dad's a Hall of Famer, 3-time All-American, it just becomes part of your life.
I got a lot of respect for Ryan. Doesn't take any kind of shortcuts. Spent the summer up in Canada playing Junior A box.
What an answer by Duke. Brady Scaletti off some terrific ball movement, and the Blue Devils offense starting to find their flow to tie it at 5.
And what's the common theme? Get the ball behind the net. Look at the ball watching defense. I mean, Robbie Hopper is caught taking an absolute nap on Koskinen Stadium. Scaletti just cuts the crease, and he is wide open. When you get the ball behind the goal against this Virginia defense, good things happen.
And that is a freshman to freshman, Ortlieb to Scaletti. John Danowski, talking with him this week, said, when you have a young team, you're curious how they do on a big stage. Well, they had that big stage at the Dome a week ago. Even though they lost, he liked how his youth performed. And, well, from here on out, Q, the stage doesn't get any smaller.
No, if you could deal with that day up in the Dome in front of, 10,000 fans, music pumping, the light show, and the, the fans just breathing on you, there's really nothing that's going to get to you.
Gerard, the scoop, couldn't get the score. Had a good look, just bounced it over. Duke had the backup. They go right back to Gerard, and this time he does score. Don't call him a Fogo. Cal Gerard stays on after the miss. And Duke takes their first lead of the day.
The face-off win, the Fogo out of Manhasset. He's got 2 points on the season prior to this game. Shot goes out of bounds. And if you're Virginia's defense, you kind of zone it up and you think 41's going to sub. He doesn't. He plants himself right in the middle of that formation and catches and finishes low, and now he gets a breather. But a burst of energy from a guy like Cal Gerard will go a long way. And once again, you get the ball behind the net against Virginia's defense, good things are going to happen offensively.
And usually when Duke keeps Gerard on the field, it's almost as a decoy so they can get 5-on-5. That time he stays on and scores.
Yeah, Jay, you mentioned the word decoy. Well, he's demanding to be covered, and usually he would be, which would open up someone else on the perimeter. But Virginia just disrespected him.
Long scramble for possession, won by Duke. The Blue Devils swinging momentum, big hit. Schroeder lowers the boom. And then Hopper getting in on the act.
Look out!
Some serious lumber being laid in Durham, and after all that, it's going to be Virginia ball. We're waiting for an official call, but it certainly looked like it bounced off Duke last.
That was fantastic.
Hopper has stayed down, now receiving medical treatment. We're going to want another look at that chaos.
That was fantastic. You got to love this. This is what makes lacrosse so compelling. All of this is legal. Dislodged, ball on the carpet, saved by Virginia. You better have your chin strap on, and don't be idling above a loose ball, because you're going to pay the price. Schroeder hunting. Virginia's defense. Jurassic Park. Schroeder again putting people on the turf. You gotta love it. Lacrosse on grass in the ACC.
Now hold on. Lars Tiffany is incensed. the officials came together and they did call a late penalty against Virginia. Everything we just showed you looked perfectly legal. John Schroeder is in the box and Duke is on the power play. Lars Tiffany is livid.
I didn't see a flag, Jay.
They did not throw one. The officials must have come together.
It's an odd extra man set right now for Duke. They're in a complete circle, okay? Teams will generally start in a circle, Jay, but then they'll cut somebody or two inside. But it's almost like Duke is trying to hit the dartboard from distance.
Duke extremely efficient on the man up, third best in all of college lacrosse.
There was no flag ever thrown, but they obviously called a penalty. So they're asking Virginia to play a five-man defense here and rotate. Now they put someone on the crease.
Now midway through the man up, stolen away by Merrick. Cut off the passing lane. Jake Merrick's been the best player on the field for Virginia today. And another failed clear. 6 failed clears for Virginia today, although a whistle comes in, which will preserve possession for the Cavaliers so they can kill the final 5 seconds of this man up. And with the clock ticking near a minute 10, they can all but hold for the final possession. Duke 0 for 2 on the man up. And Virginia, great chance to equalize ahead of halftime here in what has been a great back and forth battle in the ACC. Virginia looking to knock off Duke for the first time in 8,021 days. They have lost 20 in a row in the regular season against the Blue Devils.
That's hard to believe. You think it's in their head, Jay?
Well, Lars Tiffany told us the captains came to him and said, we don't want to address it. We don't want to talk about it this week. That would tell me that it's certainly in the upperclassmen's head that have lived through those wars and those battles and come out on the losing side.
I thought it was a little bit in Coach Lars' head when he mentioned last year's game and a bounce shot getting caught in a goalie's shorts in overtime.
15 seconds left of the first half.
How can it not be in their head?
Oh, when it's been more than 20 years?
And Lars Tiffany is what, 1 in 12 against Duke as a head coach.
Still time here for Duke, 1 second. It was good if it went, but misfired.
Smart shot there, realizing that time was winding down.
Oh, very physical end to the first half. Jake Merrick has been the star for Virginia to keep them in it with his 8 saves. Virginia, 12 costly turnovers.
I think we saw some good and bad from both teams, but one thing, when Duke and Virginia square off, this is gonna be a 15-rounder. It's gonna be a 15-rounder. So go back to your locker rooms, get your Gatorade.
I don't think they'll take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted in 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past, baby.
You're the one who owns 13 pairs of parachute pants?
Well, fashion is cyclical. They'll be back. Right? Hopefully.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
This is crazy.
You know, with On Deck, we could get a small business loan fast and order more equipment today.
Or Lone Falcon! Lone Falcon, why?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. On Deck, the online lender that makes it easy to choose your loan and if approved, get funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.
Charlotte, it's great when you see a player kind of have a rough day at the office. Charlotte, it's great when you see a player kind of have a rough day at the office, regroup, come out on fire the next time they hit the turf. My turnaround of the week goes to Maryland's Eric Spanos. 2 weeks ago, he came back from injury and he was 0 for 7 shooting against Penn State. Flat out struggled. This past weekend, he had 8 goals on 13 shots in the Terps' 14-8 win at Michigan. Be the best could be dangerous down the stretch with the 6'5" righty Spanos and his lefty line mate Leo Johnson playing tricks on goals. Both players will have their names called on April 14th during the PLL draft.
My turnaround of the week goes to Boston College's senior captain and defender, Shea Baker. On a short week, they faced the 10-0, number 2 in the country, Stanford Cardinal in a must-win game. Shea Baker had 3 caused turnovers, 3 draw controls. Nobody could get past her off the dodge. Stepping up, taking charges late in the 4th quarter in a tight game. Don't sleep on the Eagles. They're heating up just when things are getting interesting.
We like a little crazy around here. Ocho, what was the craziest thing you saw this past week?
The then number 12 Northwestern Wildcats walk into Chapel Hill and shocked the entire lacrosse world, beating the number 1 team in the nation, North Carolina, who looked untouchable. Madison Taylor was the overtime hero. She had the game-winning goal, 3 goals on the day, but it felt like everybody did their part for the Wildcats. Head coach Kelly Amonte Hiller has gotten her team into rhythm. It feels like the Cats are officially back, Karp.
Let me paint a picture. With 4:21 left in the 3rd quarter, Penn trailed Dartmouth 14-6. The Quakers scored just once over a span of over 26 minutes from the 1st quarter to the 3rd. The game was toast, right? Wrong! Penn went bonkers and scored the final 10 goals of the game and got the 16-14 win over Dartmouth. Call it a comeback, call it a collapse. I call it madness. Sometimes we see a young talent and we ask ourselves, how in the world are they a freshman? UVA's Brendan Millen has the stats. 4th nationally in assists. He leads all first-year players in points with 48, but it's more than just the numbers for me. He has incredible vision, lacrosse IQ, and elite hands. He's one of the most skilled players in the game, and he has an uncanny calmness about him.
May Murphy for the Loyola Greyhounds, just a rookie, but a complete game changer at the center circle. She had 17 draw controls in their 19-14 win. If you have someone like May Murphy taking the draw, making it pretty much make it take it for this offense for the Loyola Greyhounds, it is an opposing team's nightmare. You have no control of where that ball is going. She's popping it over her shoulder and she's off to the races.
I don't think they'll take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted in 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past, baby.
You're the one who owns 13 pairs of parachute pants?
Well, fashion is cyclical. They'll be back. Right? Hopefully.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
You have been replaced.
I master the Force and the Force serves me. I master the Force and the Force serves me. I master the Force and the Force serves me. I master the Force and the Force serves me. I master the Force and the Force serves me. Maul Shadow Lord, streaming April 6th.
Picture-perfect day for lacrosse here in April in Durham, and we have a terrific ACC battle here at the half. Duke, a 1-goal lead. It has been back and forth. You do not want to miss this second half. We'll be right back.
I don't think they'll take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted in 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past, baby.
You're the one who owns 13 pairs of parachute pants?
Well, fashion is cyclical. They'll be back. Right? Hopefully.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
This is crazy.
You know, with On Deck, we could get a small business loan fast and order more equipment today.
Or
Lone Falcon! Lone Falcon, why?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. On Deck, the online lender that makes it easy to choose your loan and if approved, get funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.
Well, this has been a great game here in Durham, a loaded lacrosse field Saturday. Duke, a 6-5 lead. Not much to separate these two teams. And certainly looking forward to this second half. It feels like every ACC game, such a battle. Both of these teams had battles a week ago, and now they're back in the trenches today.
You know, it's amazing. You think about the full 60 minutes, and I think that's what's going to determine this. The playmaking, the windows of opportunity in the ACC are really tight because of the speed and the athletic ability of these guys. And I think you're seeing good defense, and especially in the middle of the field where turnovers have been aplenty.
Yeah, well, for Virginia, you mentioned the turnovers. They've struggled in the clear game, but they have had outstanding goalie play from Merrick.
This kid just continues to get better and better and better. He plays on the high arc. He's super quick. He bounces around. He's really good at his feet. And he made a couple primetime stops in this game. He's just seeing the ball well and moving. That's a confidence play right there. Let me tell you, as a goalie, you're thinking about doing that all the time. Meanwhile, Virginia just struggling in the clearing game, and that's kind of out of their personality lately. Remember, they come into this game winning 3 straight. Utah, Dartmouth, and Notre Dame. Their clearing today is only 7 of 12 in the first half. Michael Ortlieb is the game's leading scorer. The freshman has 1 goal and 2 assists. And late in that second quarter, I thought Duke did a good job of getting the ball behind the net and capitalizing on Virginia's off-ball. They're ball watching, staring at the ball, don't have their head on a swivel. I think Duke should continue that. It was a good second quarter for Duke's offense, Jay. 15 shots. That's kind of par for them. They average more than 50 shots a game.
Oh, Merrick's 8 saves, and Duke taking a little while to get into their offensive rhythm. The Blue Devils had to weather that storm in the first half, and yet they have the lead.
The other thing was face-offs also. Second quarter, Cal Girard figured something out in that second quarter. He won 5 face-offs in that second quarter. I think the news and the big story may be that the Millen brothers, the Millen brothers have been held to just 1 assist, 0 for 4 shooting.
Yeah, McCabe Millen, scoreless.
These are players that come into the game with monster point totals. 48 points for Brendan, 54 points for McCabe Millen.
Well, they've got 60 of the 97 assists coming into this game for Virginia, only 1 in that first half. You said it in the first half, Quint. Virginia, in many ways, goes as the Millens go.
Yeah, in my book right now, if you can stop Brendan and McCabe Millen, you will beat Virginia. They just have not shown enough complementary scoring.
Well, we did ask John Danowski about the lopsided season series history, when Duke has won 20 straight regular season meetings dating back to April 2004. And Danowski did say the common theme is usually they have 1 or 2 guys that are really high-end players, and if you can take them out of the game, you give yourself a chance to win, and that was Duke's following a similar recipe today.
He did, and he went completely old school on us too, and he started mentioning Tom Duquette from the 70s, the first time he saw Virginia.
He was in 8th grade, yeah. He said something very interesting. He goes, I think you always bring your best both as a player and a coach.
Respect,
when
right?
you are respected, almost a little scared of your opponent.
Yeah.
He used the word scared.
Yeah, he did. He said you practice better when you're scared, you play better when you're scared.
Well, they've certainly played well in that second quarter. They carry the momentum and the lead and the ball into the third quarter. As the Blue Devils start on offense. Deflected shot. Tommy Snyder, the sophomore out of St. Anthony's, put his body on the line.
I agree with him in terms of preparation. You know, when you're going against an opponent that you have tremendous respect for, I think it's easy for coaches to get the players' attention Monday through Friday. But there's never a time that you want to step on a lacrosse field and be scared.
Run! Robbie Hopper unloads. Virginia had the backup.
From 18, things moving. Stealth bomber from 18 yards.
If you're Virginia, how do you clean up the turnovers? Can't afford another 12 in the second half.
There's some good things with the Millen brothers, and I think maybe this is a game where Brendan and McCabe need to be a little more involved in the picking game to try to change some matchups.
Here's McCabe, number 9 in orange, scoreless in that first half.
And there's a pick. Doesn't change the matchup. Nice cut off the pick.
Just a great set to lead to the goal. Chase Band, the junior, the beneficiary of some great team offense to tie it at 6.
This is a extremely simple play. If you're a high school or youth coach, watch it. So watch the pick man, Chase Band, sets a pick, and then he rolls off of it. And he's got inside leverage. That's not complicated. That's just wonderful execution. Kevin Cassis, their offensive coordinator, deserves a lot of credit for that. That's just a simple look. You'll almost see that in basketball. Very similar when they set that pick on the perimeter for the guy who's the outside shooter, and the picker rolls off as a cutter.
Pick and roll. It's probably the first thing you learn in youth basketball. It's certainly applicable here on the lacrosse field for a game-tying goal. If you've watched this game throughout the afternoon, you know as well as we do, there is just not much to separate these two teams today. Fine margins in this second half.
Virginia deserves credit for just getting to this point because things didn't look good earlier this season. When they were run off the field by Richmond, they gave away a win against Johns Hopkins. They had just a gigantic lead, collapsed. They were not themselves, Jay, in that loss against Towson, a game that Clark covered. And then they went to extra innings against Maryland with 3 overtimes and lost that game, a heartbreaker by a goal. But they've turned things around.
A painful loss that put Virginia at 3-4. A lot of people thought they were left for dead, and they have responded with 3 straight wins, including knocking off #1 Notre Dame a week ago. Another goal, back-to-back for the Cavaliers. That one belongs to Truett Sunderland. A hat trick for the team captain to fire the Cavaliers back in front.
Brendan Millen picks up his second assist of this third quarter. He's behind the net, got a nice matchup against Aiden McGuire. Sunderland, non-stop motion inside. He's always working hard to get open, and he catches this one right-handed and lets it rip. He had 6 against Utah, 8 points against Colgate. He's having a monster season. He's a senior captain. I think he's going to get picked up in the PLL draft, Truett Sunderland. I really do. I think he's going to go late rounds, and he's going to be in somebody's camp.
Well, you were speaking about his versatility earlier in this game. Certainly that would translate to the next level.
High school passing attackman at X. He became an inside finisher, and now he's a little bit of everything. And as you said, he's a wonderful compliment to the Millens because of his IQ, because of his savvy. Sloat and Johnston have been pretty effectively covered. They've had some success, but they haven't been the headline for Duke on offense. That's 15 in white and 19 in white.
Only 1 goal for each of them. You could certainly live with that if you were Virginia. We didn't know what type of game it was going to be. Are we going to see another shootout like the Dome a week ago, 16-15 or more? Virginia beating Notre Dame 11-9. It looks like it's being played more at Virginia's pace. Duke obviously a very talented defense as well. Right now the Blue Devils chasing an equalizer after back-to-back Virginia goals.
Yeah, that's a good question, Jay, because I think if we asked John Danowski, how many goals is it going to take to beat Virginia?
Johnson whizzes that wide.
I wonder what kind of answer he would have given us. You know, because he did the math about every midfield scoring 1 goal and every attack. Like he gave us a number of 12, 13, 14. Yeah. If you get 12, you think you're Duke, you probably win this game.
Yeah, he said your starting attack gives you 2 goals each, that's 6, and then each one of your 6 midfielders gives you 1 goal, that's 12. Should be enough to win, and then maybe you get one from the rope unit as well, McGuire and Christmas.
Your Fogo scores. Next thing you get, you're in the teens.
What a goal! Wave it off for a crease violation, though. The shot clock was down to 4. It was a terrific individual effort by Menke, the Virginia transfer, but they wave off the goal.
Wow, it hits off the pipe and then ricochets actually into the back of the net, Jay. That's very rare that you see that. A mom goal off the pipe. Another failed clear for Virginia. What a disaster.
6 failed clears by the Cavaliers today, and yet they lead in Durham against a team they have not beaten in the regular season in 22 years. And if they cleared even 11 of 14, this game's so much different. But Duke fails to capitalize on the extra possession. The Blue Devils give it right back. It's interesting in our replay, Quint, the Menke goal looked like it could have been clean. Looked like the ball was in the back of the net before he slips into the crease. Something maybe to take another look at later in this game as it progresses, but Virginia with the ball back and a 1-goal lead 5 minutes into this second half.
80-degree day, and I think you're seeing some players who prefer a slower tempo. The heat acclimation is critical in the month of April because things are going to heat up, and the championship's coming to Charlottesville, Virginia. And let me tell you, they had a championship weekend back in the day in the late 70s or early 80s, and it was like 100 on the turf at Scott Stadium. Nothing like a yard sale Easter weekend.
Nearly had the clear there. Luke Warrington, the sophomore midfielder, in Virginia. It's been Duke who's been the aggressors on the ride today, but they win a possession back here. And McCabe Millen really slowing this game down.
Yeah. I sense fatigue's a factor. It's a little bit humid. Temperatures in the 80s, hot, harsh sun.
For both teams or more for Virginia?
Nah, I think for both. I just think, there's acclimation. Like this day, a Memorial Day weekend in Charlottesville will be a nice day. You'd be used to it by then. Mm-hmm. But I still think heat acclimation takes some time for outdoor athletes.
You mentioned that Charlottesville is hosting Champ Weekend this year. They're getting a dry run of that tonight. Luke Combs is in town at Scott Stadium. 60,000 people will be rocking to some country music in Charlottesville.
Please don't hurt the turf.
True, I didn't even think of that. Shot clock ticks down to 15. Chase Band. Another yard sale. Duke wins possession. They can push it here with Christmas.
Oh.
Up ahead, Blue Devils with numbers. Johnson feeds it off. Ortlieb blows it right by Merrick to tie it at 7. How about the freshman Michael Ortlieb? He's been terrific today.
Transition opportunity. It starts with the yard sale. Quite a few in the research triangle this weekend with the weather. What, this is a bad slide right there defensively. That is not the play you want to make if you're Virginia's defense. You never slide upfield in transition and take the body. That is a cardinal sin right there. That cost you a goal. Nice little handle by Matt Christmas, and next thing you know, it's a 3-on-2, and Ortlieb is point blank range. Never slide upfield defensively in transition.
Are you fighting an instinct, though?
Well, you think you're going to make the play by taking the body, and you're better off retreating and slow playing that. Unless you're 110% sure that you actually can make the play. Because by not making the play, what happens behind you? It's a 2-on-1.
Well, Duke now getting a little sloppy. They're sitting at 11 turnovers. Virginia has 14. Tied at 7 midway through this third quarter. Every game in the ACC so critical. 4 of the 5 teams make the ACC tournament in Charlotte. You don't want to be that team left out. And for Duke, this is a big game because if they were to lose, they would fall to 0-2 in conference play. And you still got to play Carolina and Notre Dame.
And their resume would take a hit. This is a Duke team that comes in with a 9 RPI, but their strength of schedule, Jay, is only number 32 in the country. Meanwhile, Virginia's fought back into relevancy in terms of the tournament. 11 in the RPI with a 9 strength of schedule.
And they looked left for dead. 3 and 4 after that overtime loss to Maryland. They've now won 3 in a row, including that #1 win against Notre Dame, who early on is up 8-0 on Richmond through the end of one. Expected that game to be a little more close and competitive like we've got here in Durham. If you've been flipping back and forth between those two games on the ESPN app, I imagine you'll stick with us the rest of the way, because we've got a terrific back and forth battle. Terenzi feeds it inside.
Great
Couldn't
defense.
connect.
Great defense both on the perimeter and inside. Now let's see if Duke can clear.
Bard running out of real estate. Sends it back to the middle of the field. And Connor Nolan, the sophomore, commits the turnover.
John Danowski did not like that turnover. You work so hard on defense on a hot day, you can't ask your defense to continually try to get off the field. You know, it becomes demoralizing. You spend a lot more energy playing D than you do on offense. You got to value the ball at times, understand clock and score.
Brendan Millen in attack mode, buries it. The high-flying freshman, Brendan Millen, puts Virginia back in front.
We talked about at halftime, the Millen brothers struggled in that first half with only 1 point. But all 3 goals in this second half, Brendan Millen has had a hand in them, and the Cavs are up by 1.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're a financial services company, too. Like, he's so much more than Saquon Barkley. He's also Stay Calm Barkley.
Insurance and financial services together. Refreshing.
At Apartments.com, we go above and beyond to make renting easier on every single level. Here we go. Giving renters detailed guides on a neighborhood level, apartment community level, and unit level, allowing you to see the exact unit that you're going to be living in. But we didn't stop there. We've got renting down to the cellular level. Closer, closer. Wow. Hey, little guy. Apartments.com, the place, to find a place.
The ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. Visit activate.espn.com to see if you have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
Well, during the timeout, how about Aiden McGuire? This is leadership. Incredible moment from the senior captain. He's terrific on the field, obviously the best short-stick defensive midfielder in the country, but John Danowski was telling us off the field, special, special young man.
Yeah, you think about college sports and what it takes to step up in front of your team and deliver a message that your coach could give. John Danowski probably wanted to say the same thing, but it means more when it comes from one of your seniors. This is a player out of New England. He's roommates with Charlie Johnson. He'll be at church tomorrow celebrating Easter. You can be sure of that. And if you're a little kid, you probably don't want to get into one of those Easter egg rolling contests with Aiden, because he's about as competitive as it gets.
Yes, you could almost imagine him as a 4 or 5-year-old just running around the yard stealing all the eggs from the other kids, a competitor.
May enter the Marines,
yes.
May go back and play a year of college football, but we can tell you in a couple weeks he will be drafted in the top 5 in the Premier Lacrosse League, so he'll have an opportunity to play lacrosse after college.
Coach Danowski telling us in an era of likes and follows, not interested in any of that. Duke offered to do, hey, we'll do a day in the life. We'll follow you with our entire camera crew, do a cool video. You'll make some NIL money. He said, not interested. He's a throwback, and he certainly is providing the leadership in this ACC battle. His team trailing by 1. They've had to defend for practically this entire third quarter, Q. Been one-way traffic.
Here's that same play from the far side, and they throw a cut. So remember, they started the second half with that high pick and roll, throw down, and then the cut. This time there was a variation. They run the same thing, and then the next extension of it is a scissors cut, a crisscross on the inside.
And there's McGuire defending, 23 in white. Double team comes over. Buckle spins through it, goes to goal, into the side netting. And Jamison scoops it up and will start the clear.
Mom goal gets him every time.
Yeah, the Virginia mothers were fired up for that. They thought they had a 2-goal lead. Great day to be a fan. And it is filled in here at Koskinen Stadium to watch an ACC clash. This one has all the makings of it going down to the final possession.
Fans can hustle down to Chapel Hill and probably catch the last 3 quarters of that baby too. Starts when we're done.
And then back here for Syracuse Duke women, triple header. Busy day in the ACC on an April lacrosse-filled Saturday.
Jay Alter Day on the ACC network.
Yes, they did the re-air of the North Carolina-Virginia women's game last night, so I'm making up 6 hours of programming today.
Feels like the turf is starting to dry out and firm up, and these shooters are now trying to use the earth in terms of some of these bouncers. It was slippery in the first quarter.
Kirsch's been quiet, 55 in white, trying to spin his way free. Tees up Scaletti, who went high, and Merrick makes the comfortable save, his 9th.
Too easy, too easy. Good help by Sunderland on the clear. Coming back for the ball. And now Virginia will substitute and set some things up. With Kevin Cacease, their offensive coordinator, he's been in his bag in the second half. He's really designed some nice little wrinkles. Thought the offense, they kind of looked freelancy and scrappy. Now they found some things they like in terms of the pick game. And here, Jay, they're going to go to a 5-on-5 formation. They got Sloat caught on the near side. You can see him bottom of your screen.
And Tommy Snyder, the close defenseman, has stayed on to trap Sloat. Colsey steps in and scores! Ryan Colsey blows it by Jamison, and Virginia leads by 2. It's a hat trick for the pride of Ridgefield, Connecticut. Ryan Colsey going against his brother Kyle. Nets his 3rd.
Talk about using the earth. Watch this bouncer, left-handed, crow hop, and just a stick side bouncer. Watch, you'll see the dirt, boom, right there. He puts that up in front of the crease and gets the ball to work for him. Boom, that is well placed. That's a difficult stop for a goaltender, a stick side bouncer. Colsey, he's got so many skills, whether it's the inside game, the outside shot. He's a good passer. He can do a little bit of everything.
Virginia outscoring Duke 4-1 in this 3rd quarter.
And Brendan Millen's been involved with all 4 goals, Jay. I got him for 1 goal and 3 assists in this quarter.
Correct. After only 1 assist for the Millen brothers combined in the first half, it's been the freshman who leads all Division I freshmen in points, just under 5 per game, who has stepped up in this 3rd quarter. Delgado and Duke looking for a response. Ben Johnson been very quiet for his standards, has it here. Feels like Sloat and Johnston need to get more involved. Johnston, they tried to get it to him, and he got buried. 3 Cavaliers collapsing, and Virginia has it in transition. Another goal! Virginia pouring it on. It's the shorty Hudson Hausman who drills it. It opens up Virginia's largest lead of the afternoon.
Watch this defense. Can't handle the pass. Johnson's taken down to the turf. Virginia runs. And then Hudson Hausman had a goal last week against Notre Dame as a trailer, had a goal late in the empty net. And he continues his offensive run. He is a warrior. This is a guy who ran over Matt Jeffrey last season. And suddenly he's an offensive weapon. Virginia believing on their bench.
Lars Tiffany's team, a 5-1 run now in the 3rd quarter. It's been more than 8,000 days since Virginia knocked off Duke in the regular season. They have lost 20 in a row in this lopsided series history. Could today be the day? Virginia fans starting to believe with under 2 minutes left in this 3rd quarter.
I'll give you the asterisk. Virginia beat him in the 2019 NCAA tournament. And there was one ACC tournament, I think years ago, 2010 maybe, that Virginia beat him, but no regular season.
Yes.
It's so hard to believe.
Duke is
Two quality programs.
Yeah.
And it was so one-sided. And you're putting the whammy on Virginia in this game by bringing it up right now, Jay.
I think Lars Tiffany won't like that. Duke.
It's not in his head.
Duke and Virginia, they've both had their share of national championships, but when it has come to the regular season battles, Duke has won 20 in a row. Now they trail by 3. Trying to pull one back, didn't get a clean look there. Scaletti wins the run out. Duke has been starved for the ball in this third quarter. Can't afford an empty possession as the shot clock ticks down to 12. Scaletti trying to make something happen. Lost the ball. This Virginia defense is dialed in. Unrelenting, another shot clock violation. How about the Who's?
The defensive turnaround from that second half collapse against Johns Hopkins and that no-show against Towson. They gave up 13 against Maryland, but suddenly now this defense, on Monday they held Dartmouth to 7. They followed that up with holding Notre Dame to single digits. I mean, Notre Dame scored 9 goals against Virginia, Jay. They put up 8 in the first quarter against Richmond.
Incredible. Aiden McGuire clearing it for Duke. Another failed clear for Virginia, by the way. That is 7 failed clears. Can Duke capitalize? McGuire into traffic, somehow holds onto the ball. There's a flag down. Goal! Nearly. It hit the top of the bar and bounced out. Thought the official was signaling for a goal. Instead, he was signaling for a shot clock reset. As Duke goes to the man up here.
McGuire, you see the effort, playing through some kind of lower body injury. He gets held on this. Give me a hold now. You got 8 seconds to go in the quarter. I would expect John Danowski and Duke to hold the ball here, to spread the field, and then maintain possession into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is inches away from a goal. Just hits the top of the iron there. Duke only 1 goal scored in the third quarter. Lars Tiffany's team a 5-1 run to take a 3-goal lead into the fourth quarter. Duke will start on the man up. Well, Virginia has waited more than 8,000 days for a regular season win against Duke.
Came out with a plan. I tell you, Brendan Millen putting on a show in that quarter with a bunch of set looks. Coach Lars Tiffany, who has not had success against Duke, he can taste it now.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're also one of America's largest financial services companies, too. Just like I'm so much more than Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. I want everyone here to know that you, too, can be so much more.
So I could be a chef.
Sure can.
Marine biologist.
Follow your dream.
NFL quarterback.
Kind of a niche skill set, but I believe in you. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
With Popeye's new $5 Faves menu, you can get this, or this, or this, or this. And no one's stopping you from getting them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Virginia has stolen all the momentum here in Durham. Outscored Duke 5-1 in that third quarter. They lead by 3.
They deserve a lot of credit. Kevin Cassis, their offensive coordinator in this group, they've been very precise. Nice set pieces, really diagrammed plays. Brendan Millen has 4 points in that third quarter. They go on a 5-1 run. Their shooting has been on point as well, and Hausman scores in transition to keep his goal-scoring exploits as a big factor.
And those 5 goals allowed by Duke ties the most they have allowed in any quarter this season all the momentum with Virginia. 3-goal lead, but Duke starts the fourth quarter with the ball on the man up. A critical 20 seconds with the extra man. 0 for 2 on the power play today. What a pass. Can't do it much better than that. Michael Ortlieb threaded the needle for a doorstep finish for Scaletti, freshman to freshman. And Duke cashes in on the man up.
This is some look. He's not really open. He throws it right through traffic and through sticks. Look at it. It's a no look, and he throws it right over the head of the defender. And there's got to be confidence and trust. Ortlieb's had a monster game today. This is the best he's played this season. He's got 3 assists and maybe 2 goals.
2 goals, 3 assists for the freshman.
So that's critical to convert there to start this fourth quarter. You really can take a sigh of relief if you're Duke now. You don't feel like you're chasing so much uphill. Big difference between 3 and 2 goals.
Both of Scaletti's goals have been assisted by his fellow freshman Ortlieb. Gerard and Greenspan continue to battle the face-off X, where Greenspan struggled in that third quarter, but Virginia created some turnovers and certainly has dominated possession despite Gerard having more face-off wins today.
Virginia's been very patient in the second half too. Their pace is clearly slowed down.
And dominating the time of possession.
I mean, you look at the sub pattern, it's taking forever. Guys jogging on, they're not really concerned about the shot clock at all.
Well, they have operated very comfortably in the late shot clock situations. A couple of times today, they have found goals with the shot clock under 10. Curling around, an immediate answer, Joey Terenzi. The senior delivers his second goal of the afternoon, and Virginia back up by 3.
This is a situation, watch McGuire, he gets a little casual behind the net. You'll see 23 in white. And he's so confident, he reaches for it, misses it, and overplays it, and then has to go over the head. He loses position.
Just 50 seconds after Duke brought it to 2, Virginia with Terenzi answers.
Terenzi, the fascinating story, 2 years ago, he's a defensive midfielder. Last year, he was hurt quite a bit, never really found his form. And now he's got the bump up, he's running first midfield. It's got to be Max Sloat and Ben Johnston. Ortlieb's delivered down low for Duke at the attack spot, the freshman, but we haven't heard enough. Ben Johnston does not have enough shot attempts in this game, neither does Max Sloat.
Johnston, to your point, Duke's leading scorer, has only attempted 2 shots today. Has it here. Deflected shot.
Nice play. It's a big play, too. That was a good look, Jay, and the defender comes out and just sacrifices.
Lyndon Verville, the true freshman short stick defensive midfielder, put his body on the line.
Kid's a bowling ball, man. He's hunting pins.
Ortlieb trying to do it himself. Duke has the backup. Oh, Michael Ortlieb is feeling it, huh? Playing with tons of confidence, 3 goals, 2 assists. He has been the biggest bright spot for Duke offensively today. Blue Devils with the ball, trailing by 3. Johnston trying to shake free. Johnson on the run, high heat.
Nicely tied up on the perimeter. Didn't get the full velocity or location because you had a long stick in his glove lifting it up.
Colsey on the restart. Through contact, playing through it.
A lot of friction on the ball carrier.
Long possession for Duke. Blue Devils trailing by 3. You can't afford to come up empty. Sloat. Tried the crossfield pass for Kershus, missed him.
Cavalier fans love it. They understand how big that stop was. That defense dug deep now. Duke was deep into the shot clock. Virginia was on the ropes, and they prevail. Now, can they clear it? Can they choose some clock to give their defense a freshener? Complementary lacrosse, managing clock and score and situation. Understand that your defense just busted their tail for about 60 seconds.
And Q, you have pointed it out, but Virginia, this entire second half has been in no hurry.
This is Maryland pre-shot clock era with John Tillman.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it. They have no interest in attacking until the shot clock is down like around 30.
McKay Millen, no points for him today.
And I think that's complimentary lacrosse, Jay. I do. I think that's why they held Notre Dame to 9 goals last week.
Yeah, being more selfless has been a big calling card of this 3-game win streak. Sunderland, a hat trick for him today. Number 3 in orange, has Jamison out of his cage, and Duke forces the turnover on an errant pass. How about the hustle at a yard sale? This will be Duke ball on a foul by Sunderland.
Clearing clock gets reset on that violation. This is a critical possession in this game.
Duke has only managed 8 goals through 3 quarters and change. They need to find 3 in the final 10 minutes here just to tie it.
Let's see what offensive coordinator Ronnie Caputo dials up for Duke here. Thomas Delgado's got the ball right now. He's got some shake, and he should be relatively fresh.
Puts on the brakes, restarts the attack. Osman all over him.
Virginia doing a nice job getting their hands on these Dodgers. There's a good chunk. They're taking a chunk right at the beginning part of the dodge.
Thomas Menke nowhere to go. Shot clock down to 20. Here's Kyle Colsey. Menke misfires. Shot clock 15 seconds on it for Duke. Blue Devils can ill afford another empty possession here in the second half.
Duke has had McCabe Millen caught on the field that entire possession, and they didn't find him. 9 in orange. They should have made him play some defense.
Delgado missed it. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Need something quick here on the restart.
That's a reset.
But Virginia gets the ground ball. Clearing has been an issue for the Cavaliers today. 8 failed clears, and that one the most costly. Can Duke make them pay? Kyle Colsey in attack mode. Scores! Kyle Colsey makes it a 2-goal game, and Duke converts on another Virginia failed clear.
Reset the shot clock, and now this ground ball. There's really nothing you can do if you're Virginia right there. You're pinched, double teamed. You're trying your best to get out of traffic, and Duke puts the ball on the carpet. Colsey then capitalizing on Robbie Hopper going over the head. Wow, too easy for Colsey. He dodges tangent to the crease, and it's once again a 2-goal game.
Kyle Colsey's second goal of the day. His brother Ryan, playing for Virginia, has 3. And John Danowski's team back within 2. And Duke wins the faceoff because of a violation on Virginia. And the Cavaliers obviously have had issues throughout this season closing out games in the fourth quarter. The collapse against Johns Hopkins. They had a late lead against Maryland, ended up losing that game in overtime. Can they hang on here to a 2-goal advantage with under 9 minutes to play? Still plenty of time for Duke. Great read. Merrick on that high crease.
He's got 2 steals today outside the crease.
Virginia. They played at a very slow offensive tempo. Ryan Colsey with room, charges in. Not a great angle, and Jamison stuffed him on the doorstep. How about Henry Bard battling through two bodies?
Good handle. Duke potential numbers here. Wow, Hopper's getting away with a lot of back checks.
Pedicano winds up. Bouncer goes over.
Virginia wants a timeout. Virginia wants a timeout. They're all over the place, Jake.
And they get the timeout. Lars Tiffany, 2-goal lead, takes a timeout. We'll be right back in Durham. Don't want to miss this finish.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards because we've printed them for millions of small businesses over the past 25 years. But we also print signs, stickers, shirts, and more. If you need it, we print it. Print it all with 20% off for new customers at Vistaprint.com.
At Wayfair, delivery and setup can be as easy as, well, doing nothing.
That was fast.
Room of choice delivery and fast expert setup.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Well, we have said it throughout the afternoon, but the last regular season win for Virginia against Duke came 22 years ago, more than 8,000 days. Now, there were some close calls mixed in, including last year, overtime game that Ben Johnston won after a Griffin shot got stopped in the shorts of Patrick Jamison.
Not the last or won't be the last time, Jay, that this series will come down to a close game. And you think about close calls, very frequent here. But
and it's incredible with how competitive
really hard to
it is. The games usually do come down to the final possession, and yet Duke has won 20 in a row in the regular season. You go back to April 2004, yeah, by Usher, topped the Billboard Top 100. Gmail was getting launched. The Nokia 1100 was the top-selling cell phone. That might be the most damning of them all.
I was single without a family. Lars is 1-12 against Duke. John Danowski is 27-4 against Virginia. Head-to-head, Dino 14-1 against Lars.
And these are not lopsided score lines. They're very close games, so Duke has just found ways to win. But to do it 20 consecutive times in the regular season is amazing.
To a league rival, a team that's won multiple national championships during that
they've got
time frame.
More national championships than wins against Duke in that time frame. Now, they do have the 2 wins outside of the regular season, but even counting those, they've lost 25 of 27.
Virginia winning national titles in 2019 and 21. Championship weekend appearances in 23 and 24.
Now, Virginia fans, they've waited more than 8,000 days. They can wait another 7.5 minutes with a 2-goal lead, but they've got to hang on.
If it wasn't in your head, it is now.
Blue Devils not backing down. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Colsey up top, bouncer way over the cage. Only 4 seconds on the shot clock here.
It's tough decision now for Duke. You have to attack. You have to attack. There's some confusion as to where this restart. Are they going to roll this ball in the corner? They've substituted.
No, they went to goal. Johnston couldn't connect, and now Duke will have to defend.
I agree with that. You're down to, you got to go to the goal. Good things can happen there. Penalties. Wow, they're giving him a reset. That is crazy.
The officials are going to come together here, but they have signaled that this will be Duke ball with a fresh 60. Big call in this fourth quarter. And it has already been a very long possession for the Blue Devils. Let's get the call. Let's take another look.
Desperation, feed to the crease. I don't think that hit the goaltender, did it?
It did not. So Virginia has requested a video review, and judging at the angle we just showed you, it does not look like that hit Jake Merrick, the Virginia goalie.
Did it glance off him in any way?
Here's another angle.
No, not even close. Not even close, as we thought in real time. No, not even close.
So this will be Virginia ball, assuming that it is overturned, which we certainly think it should.
Still tons of time in this game, too. That's, you know, there's a kind of a frantic sense you get from the players and the benches and some premature timeouts. And we still got 7 minutes to go, baby.
Duke has been playing with an urgency in this fourth quarter that doesn't make it feel like there's 7 minutes, though, right?
You're exactly right. No. That will not be a reset. It will be Virginia ball on the end line.
Now, one thing the Cavaliers have to be careful about, 8 failed clears, and they're going to have to clear the ball here with 7 minutes to go.
What they call? After review. There was no goalie. 80-second shot clock. UVA ball.
Lars Tiffany on the whiteboard.
Virginia has great fans, don't they? Down at Clocker Stadium, they'll wrap that field. They sit on the grassy knoll. They've been showing up there for decades. It's a fun place. They traveled well today with their little bunch of parents and supporters who are cheering every play, The trajectory of their season, not to plan. But where they are right now, they gotta like what they're seeing now, Jay.
No doubt about it. You know, the 2 wins after the loss to Maryland, and then the one last week to knock off #1 Notre Dame, and now here in Durham with a 2-goal lead, trying to hang on to the finish line.
I thought they'd need to win 2 or 3 ACC games to get back in the playoff discussion because they lost head-to-head with Maryland or Hopkins, and one of those teams is going to be a peer team on Selection Sunday. How can they leapfrog one of those teams? I see 4 teams from the ACC getting the NCAA tournament, maybe even 5 this year.
Well, Virginia probably was midway through the season that 5th team that would be left out. Inches away from a 3-goal lead, hits the top of the pipe and rings off of it.
Brendan Millen's been the guy for Virginia in this second half. Ryan Dunkel rattles that one off the post.
Fresh shot clock for the Cavaliers. They can kill more clock here.
Millen is 7 in orange. He's at the top of the formation right now. He's the best freshman in the country, and I don't even think that's debatable. 10 points against Dartmouth, 4 points against Notre Dame, including the game winner. He took over this game in the 3rd quarter.
He has been the difference for Virginia since halftime. The Hoos have outscored the Blue Devils 6-3 since intermission.
They'll initiate from X behind, but it's going to swing through #7 at some point, and he's going to look to pick apart this defense.
Dunkel in attack mode, scores this time after he rang it off the pipe. Finds the back of the net, and the Cavaliers lead by 3.
This is clutch by the sophomore. A little split, right to left, burst. Good acceleration. This is about speed. He's able to clear his hands, clears top side, snaps that ball near side. Jamison can't believe it. Dunkel dealt with an injury in 2024 and 2025. 10th goal of the season. Check that, 12th goal of the season.
And now Duke does find themselves in the danger zone, trailing by 3, 5:35 left. Gerard has been grinded at the faceoff X. Glove is off. The officials have stopped play.
Everybody holding their breath on every call here.
And it's going to be Virginia possession.
Yeah, and you're going to see, you should see patience now. 3-goal lead, 5 minutes to go.
Oh, you've seen patience throughout the second half.
Do not deviate from that strategy.
If you're Duke, do you have to up your pressure now? Does the clock start becoming an issue, trailing by 3?
You got to get out and play the ball. Maybe extend a little bit of adjacent.
No margin for error now for the home team, Duke.
You see Virginia splits, how wide they are.
Blue Devils in jeopardy of falling to 0-2 in the ACC. Dunkel, who just scored the last goal for Virginia, feeds it this time. Truett Sunderland! A masterclass! 4 goals for the captain!
Tell you, this is really well done because somewhere in Virginia trying to kill clock, Duke trying to overplay maybe. Dunkel, that change of direction again, and somehow Sunderland is just left wide open in front of the net. It was a communication issue on Duke's defense. Sunderland's had a monster day now, and Virginia is in firm control.
Cavaliers have waited more than 8,000 days. What's another 4 minutes and 50 seconds? Looking for their first regular season win against Duke in 21 tries. It's been 22 years. They've got the ball, just looking to kill this clock. Duke upping the pressure, a double team, and Lars Tiffany takes his final timeout to preserve possession. Virginia now out of timeouts. Let's take a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate, and it's the Virginia goalie, Jake Merrick, who's had the good hands today.
Not only making stops, but making pickoffs out of the net. His clearing has been precise. He has stood tall. And one of the main reasons that Virginia is now rolling, coming into this game on that 3-game win streak, his play. He's the guy now. Lars Tiffany leaning and whispering in his ear before that Utah game saying, hey, relax, you're the guy. No matter what happens here, you're our guy. And he has played with a certain confidence. The graduate student out of Air Force wants to become a special ops nurse. So he's basically going on med school, nursing school right now, 12 hours shifts he's running at the hospital.
Well, he had committed to Virginia for the grad school nursing program, thinking his lacrosse career was over. Decided to fire an email at Lars Tiffany. Tiffany met him for a half-hour meeting and said, hey, if you want to walk on, never hurts to have an extra goalie, and boom, he wins the job.
I was down at Virginia for football, NC State, Virginia, this fall, and I swung by a Virginia Thursday night practice, and they had 5 different goalies there. And so I went through the group, and at that stage, he hadn't separated from the pack. But you certainly noticed his quickness and his warm-ups. He's got really good feet, Jay. He's got really good legs in terms of that movement. And you have to when you're that size. You know, the goalie position now is getting bigger. Guys are getting larger. But for Jake, who's only, what, 5'8", 5'9", it's got to be a movement position. And that he can certainly do that.
If you're looking for Notre Dame at Florida State softball, we will bring you there when we are finished here in Durham. Virginia with the ball and a 4-goal lead. You know, the last goal marked the 4th time today that Virginia has scored 2 goals in less than a minute. They've been stringing them together.
Cavs in full stall mode now, spreading the field. Duke has got to press out. This is really tiring for defenders.
The Blue Devils, who have only managed 9 goals today, need to find 4 in the final 4 minutes just to tie it. Hard to do without the ball.
Hublett's part of this clock-killing unit, the LSM, the defensive midfielder for Virginia. 88 with the long pole. You don't see that very often.
McGuire going at Terenzi. Shot clock Down to 10 seconds. McGuire's got to be careful not to commit a penalty, and he gets the turnover. Duke cannot afford any more empty possessions. They've had too many in this second half. Only 3 goals since halftime. Johnston been quiet.
This is defensively now where you want to rely on your communication. Late in the game, increase the talk, increase that communication. So everyone's on the same page and supporting one another. You know they're coming at you.
Pappendick, nothing there. Now Max Sloat charges in, bouncer save made. Jake Merrick. Duke reloads. There's a flag in the air. The ball's in the back of the net. Kyle Colsey. The scoop and score off the rebound. His second jump finish today. And there's a flag down. Good goal. Kyle Colsey's a hat trick for him.
Still tons of time, 2:53. Sloat rejected by Merrick, loose ball. Colsey twice now in this game has just been really, really assertive in picking up a loose ball and getting to the tangent of that crease with the dive. He's airborne and then he's knocked into the crease. That's why that goal stands.
4th career hat trick for Kyle Colsey.
No foul. Teams are at even strength here.
So you pick up the flag because of the Colsey goal.
It's a big draw, Jay.
And Ben McCarthy is in for it for Duke instead of Cal Gerard, who's taken the lion's share of faceoffs today. Virginia wins possession, but Duke, relentless, wins the ball back. McCarthy, the sophomore, never gave up on it.
Oh, Colsey hurt himself on that fake.
Kyle Colsey has stayed down. Whistles blow the play dead.
You hate to see this. This young man who's rehabbed back from ACL surgery, and he planted, and it just lost his legs. His legs weren't under there for him. There's a fail clear. We've seen slippage all day long, and especially when Virginia has cleared the ball up the near sideline. Look at the massive bodies. You got 4 white jerseys around that loose ball. Here's the injury. Can't really tell. It could be totally unrelated to the ACL. That's what you hope.
Oh, Kyle Colsey, who just scored a goal a moment ago, spent last season in Charlottesville with his brother Ryan, tore his ACL on September 7th. Missed the entire season and then transferred to Duke. He's had a hat trick today to match his brother's 3 goals. But you have to imagine he will come out for the remainder of this game as John Danowski walks him off the field.
Yeah, with trainer Joe Ferraro, athletic trainer there on the right. It's been a staple here for this program for a long time. Going to be Duke ball. Shot clock's going to be at 72. We got about 2:32 to go in this game, Jay, and now's the time to go. What's been most successful for Duke in this game, quite honestly, is getting the ball behind the net. Michael Ortlieb's been their leading scorer. We haven't seen enough shot opportunities for Ben Johnston and Max Sloat.
How has Virginia limited Johnston in particular?
Unlike Syracuse last week, Virginia has really overplayed him on the perimeter. They've given him no breathing room. They've given him no ability to run in straight lines.